internet. I am the F-King Guy, and this week, I mean, you've read the title of the episode. Total Cult Zone presents the Fat Slags.
Sensuous, stylish, confident. The modern woman knows what she wants and the shape of things to come.
All right, Trey. No, not really. Fat Slags.
Their names are San and Trey.
You two are doing a terrific job and you both deserve a raise.
Really?
No!
Two big women with a style all their own.
Hi, I'm Randy.
Really?
Well, let's see what you can do.
Do you fancy a Chinese?
They're getting out of town.
Hello, good evening, and bollocks. I was going to do a really fancy intro to misdirect everybody into thinking this was going to be a very intellectual discussion about some rare, long-forgotten black and white Esperantian art house film. But I remembered to make the algorithm work, we need to put the film's name in the show's title, and everyone know what we're talking about anyway. So, Joe, how you doing?
I'm fine. I hate you for making me watch this.
Ian, how you doing?
I am very well. However, I think going by this and going by the last film that we covered, I think my reputation is definitely ruined. There coming on there here. So,
well, I did put it in a group we're all in on Discord and asked volunteers, and you both put your hands up. So you only got yourself to blame.
Nah, the moral of the story: never volunteer for anything.
Okay, let's talk about what is apparently the worst British film ever made.
Oh, I don't know about that, but it's top 5 dead or alive. Yeah.
Yeah, from the pages of Viz Comics, the Fat Slags. Let's get some fun things out of the way and talk about Viz Comics before that. Any memories of the magazine at all?
Yeah, it's my little treat when I have to take the train down to London. I'll buy myself a Viz from W.H. Smith's to read on the train because I may be a 43-year-old man, but I'm also like a 15-year-old schoolboy simultaneously, and it is still genuinely funny. It's crass and it's crude but also it makes me laugh. Whereas this film did not.
I think for me, Viz, and I do read it now and then, or I might get one of the sort of Christmas annuals, where they compile a lot of the stuff that they've put out. But there's a nostalgia to it, but as we say, there's an earthiness about it, but also actually there's a fair degree of their satire and all the stuff that comes through, and it's smarter than you think in many ways, absolutely. And there's a lot of stuff that will stay with you forever. I must admit, my favourite is probably Black Bag, the faithful border bin liner. Just a lovely strip, that one, a lovely story.
That's the one in the adventure comics style, isn't it?
Yeah,
because it's now what is it? It's like Jimmy and his border collie, and they're just deporting racists and stuff constantly. And it's like you said, it straddles that line brilliantly between like toilet humor and very good satire. And it's was it like 70 something? It started maybe later. I'm not.
1979 December.
Yeah, and it's still going, and it's still funny. I think it's probably past its heyday, but again, I'll still buy it because it makes me laugh.
Yeah, December 1979, created by Chris and Simon Donald with good friend Jim Brownlow. Originally produced as a 12-page handmade zine from the bedroom in Newcastle upon Tyne, and distributed through the local alternative music venues.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah, it was a collection of cartoons they drawn in the style of the then outdated-looking newspaper strip cartoons. They took the twee and outdated ideas of humour that was on show and infused them with swear words and innuendos, cartoon knobs, that kind of stuff. And after finishing the first collection, they realised there were gaps between the strips. They filled them with newspaper-style features with equally outlandish and puerile concepts, with letters to the editor, editorials, photo stories, local stories from the area, advertisements, top tips, and fake competitions.
Yes, top tips again is another one of those things that is a gold mine of just brilliantness, and the fake adverts. What was it? It was like Morris Gibbs driving school. So like, it's just like it's that right level of just unhinged mania at times, and then cartoon knobs. Yeah, it ticks all my boxes.
Yeah, one of them was help to teach kids how government works by simply taking all their sweets and telling them to fuck off.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, top tick section was actually raided by McDonald's and plagiarised in one of the commercials regarding the tip of giving your old shirts to Oxfam and then getting them cleaned and fined 50p. They settled out.
Sued the bejesus out of them. You didn't? Oh, good.
Yeah, they settled out of court, and the winnings was undisclosed amount. It was donated to Comic Relief.
Oh, lovely. See?
Even had wedding photos in there at one point with comedian and artist Johnny Vegas. Sold them to his wedding to Viz for £1.
See? It's good northern stuff, man.
Have you seen Johnny Vegas' art, by the way?
I've seen his pottery that he's done, because he did ceramics, didn't he?
Yeah, he's doing like sculptures and figures now. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, they had him on the pottery throwdown, because I watched that
as
well.
Yeah, has he not got like their sort of PhD in their ceramics or some shit like
whatever the top level of ceramics is, he's got one of them. He's got like a tile master or teapot king or something.
Weird when you see his like net worth and it's multi-millionaire. Like, fucking hell. All with monkey.
I think that's where a lot of it came from. Yeah. Wow. Second time this week someone's mentioned that goddamn monkey.
Yeah, all these segments contributed to the look of the magazine, which a decade after its inception, its DIY project was selling 1 million copies a year, and one of, if not the biggest selling magazines in the country at that point.
Well, there was other ones, weren't there? There was like Oink and Zit and stuff as well that were similar but not as good. Yeah.
I did see a few of them in the comic book shop the other day. I was like, I'll give that a go. Oh no, it's about £6 an issue. No, I don't.
No, it's not worth that.
Christmas Radio Times, about £8 or something it was. I had a heart attack.
Old men complain about things. Back. Yeah, I mean, who needs? I mean, that was the sort of joy of the Radio TV Times, wasn't it? Is going through and circling stuff and like, yeah. But you've just got Sky now. You just set it all to record and watch it later on at your own leisure.
Yeah, you don't have to buy one of them as well now. You don't have to buy both of them for ITV and Channel 4 and BBC and BBC Two.
Because there was only 4 channels then, kids.
Yeah, but you had to buy 2 separate magazines.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Wild times.
Bloody rip-off that was.
Thatcher's Britain.
Yeah, the popularity of the magazine carried on for a few years, but in the mid-90s, sales dropped to about 200,000 copies a year. A big drop-off, but for a dumb comic featuring football playing fish, it's still decent. It's since dropped to 50,000 copies a year. Seeing as printed media is now in its dying days, that's pretty fine, actually.
Yeah.
I have a 46-year catalogue for people to dig through online. A lot of the more famous ones pop up as memes online all the time. Got the Paul Simon Art Garfunkel. Paul Simon Art Garfunkel. I can't say Garfunkel. Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel. The one where he's got the photo where you cover his face. It looks like he's got a handlebar moustache. That was from Viz. And Ernie Hudson bumming himself. Also from Viz.
Yes. Yep. Letterbox. Yep.
Yeah. Strips themselves feature a range of characters. Roger Melly, the man on the telly. Sid the sexist. Student Grant. The modern parents. Cockney Wanker. Billy the Fish. Buster the Gonad. Millie Tant. Finbar Sanders. Terry Fuckwit. And today's topic, the Fat Slags.
Terry Fuckwit. Yeah, just phoned that one in, didn't they? Yeah.
At its height, the magazine had several spin-off cartoons. The Fat Slags had a claymation one with Sandra Burke and Sandra Burke? Kathy Burke.
Kathy, yeah.
Kathy Burke, yeah.
Sandra Burke and Tracy Tunstall had stop-motion cartoon featuring Kathy Burke and Jenny Eclair voicing the characters. So I get confused.
which is infinitely better. I watched some of those as well, and it ain't great, but it's better than this.
Yeah, they advertised Tennant's Lager and later went on to advertise Lucasade energy drink for some reason.
Why not?
And they also did a cover of Cliff Richard's Summer Holiday, which got to number 78 in the UK charts.
That's why we can't remember it.
Yeah.
Roger Melly, the man on telly, voiced by Peter Cook, had a great comic relief moment where he dropped a bollocks pre-Watershed, although I think that was Harry Enfield doing it at that time.
Legend Peter Cook, marvellous.
Sid the Sexist had a show as well, voiced by Sammy Johnson, which I didn't know about at all.
I know.
And Billy the Fish, voiced by Harry Enfield. I hope you saw one or two episodes of that. And the last time they got off the printed page was in 2011 for a series of 3 shorts created for Channel 4's comedy Blaps with Baby Cow Productions, featuring voice work from Steve Coogan, Sarah Millican, Simon Greenall and Gavin Webster.
There is another. There is Vic and Bob's Top Tips.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Viz Top Tips, where it's them in like a shed, isn't it? Just reading out top tips. It was one of those like Christmas VHS things, weren't it? Like World's Most Dangerous Police Chases and Angus Dayton's football league hits and stuff.
Like Coronation Street, The Cruise.
That kind of trash.
Yeah, I actually grabbed some of the top tips and stuff offline. I think my favourite is Olay keep claiming they fight the 7 signs of ageing. Does it include becoming more right wing? Because that's a really problematic one.
Yep.
And I realised recently that it's been a while since I've told anyone that I think Piers Morgan is a cunt. And I'm a little worried that people might think that I don't think he's a cunt anymore. Could you print this so it's clear to everyone that I still think he's a right cunt?
Again, it's not subtle in its politics.
So let's take a step back to 2006 now for the Fat Slags film.
Oh, do we have to?
I was going to say, can we not just read out top tips? Like,
okay, so Fat Slags charts the rise and fall of unrepentantly vulgar and crass Sandra and Tracy as they leave the north of England hometown of Fulchester for the bright lights of London to shag and booze their way to fame and fortune. The day they arrive, internationally renowned billionaire Sean Cooley suffers a blow to the head. While recovering, he spots on a popular daytime chat show and falls in love with the larger-than-life look and approach. Determined to make them smart, he forces fashion designer Fedor Konstantin to base his next collection around them and creates a media sensation. Sandra and Tracy take the UK by storm, hitting number 1 in the record charts and inadvertently winning the Turner Prize. As far as the press is concerned, fat is the new black. Throughout their journey into the world of celebrity, the girls maintain their unique, endearing vulgarity, coupled with an innocence that draws the public to the cause. But in private, jealousy drives a wedge between Sandra and Tracy as they vie for Cooley's attentions. Only when he regains his mental faculties and turns on them do the unlikely heroines realise that friendship is the only real thing they have in the mad world they now inhabit.
That's it.
Yeah. Thank you to Nicole Gregory off the IMDb for that description of the entire film.
It pretty much is. Like, I watched some terrible things. like just, but this is possibly one of the worst things I have ever seen. It works on no. Everyone looks like they're being held there at gunpoint. Like, there's no. For something that's supposed to be like larger than life and crude and crass and over the top, it isn't. It's just awful.
I think there's a line here because there's some elements in it that if it had worked, it would like it could have really worked. It could have, there's bits and you can see what they're trying to go for, but the fact is that it needs to make you laugh. And how many times did you actually laugh watching this film? Because I bet it wasn't many, if at all.
Once, when Dolph Lundgren hit himself in the eye with the chewing gum.
Okay.
I got 2.
Well, that's 100% more than me.
I must admit, I did laugh. The Baz and is it Ted? I can't remember.
Baz
The
and
two
Dave.
boys, but yeah, but yeah. So
I'll say it.
basically, they made me laugh because you couldn't make out what they were saying. You know, two Geordie boys, talking that fast, couldn't actually pick up what they were talking about. I did laugh at that because,
Yeah, but it's one joke that is then ran into the ground.
I think they had
and then just a
better
casual
film.
bit of racism thrown in at the end for it as well.
Yeah, I think they had a better film. Just it wasn't shown at all.
but I mean, but I think that sort of larger than lifestyle, like the opening sort of sequence that goes over full Chester, and the look of full Leicester's actually it's quite good. It's quite nice that it's, I think sort of visually there's a style there that could have worked, but it is ruined by not being funny at all, and and also the big ensemble their cast, because I mean this film's packed with their names, it's packed with faces that and that could have really worked, but it didn't. It just, because it's not funny. No one's funny in it. That's the trouble. There's no at all.
Cast-wise, you've got Fiona Allen as Sandra Burke from Smack the Pony and other comedy sketch stuff.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. British comedy royalty, I would say.
Yeah. Sophie Thompson as Tracy Tunstall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what she's been in. Have you seen her in anything?
Oh, loads
Yeah.
of stuff. Yeah, so Sophie Thompson's in loads of stuff. Most recently, I've watched her in their Silo, which is on their Apple, their TV. That's a big sort of sci-fi sort of drama. A really good one as well. Yeah, I would recommend watching that.
Yeah. Sliding into the film as billionaire Sean Cooley. You got Jerry O'Connell.
Who must have owed the tax man money or something? Because,
Yeah.
It's the opening credits of it where there is 8,000 names on screen. Like, they go, Burt Kwok's in this film. He's in it for 30 seconds. That doesn't merit a credit in the intro to a film, does it?
Yeah. Anthony Head, obviously. Victor the Bastard in this. Assistant to the billionaire.
Who again must have just gone, 4 days filming, £1 million, sweet, I'm on board. Like, it.
Yeah, someone who probably got out of this hostage situation halfway through because her plot doesn't go anywhere. You've got Jerry Halliwell. Just disappears at one point at the end. It's like, I'm not coming back.
Well, yeah, but she did get to her music on the soundtrack. So I think that was part of the deal. Can we use that great song of yours?
Yeah, Dave and Baz, the boyfriends, left up north with a much better storyline. You got Dave played by Henry Miller. Just a jobbing actor, really. Decent though, getting enough work here and there. And Baz was Tom Goodman-Hill, who was recently in a remake of Rebecca, and most likely known to as an even more problematic character in Baby Reindeer, Darian.
Yes, he's again. Was he not in?
He's in quite a few things.
He's in a lot of stuff, yeah. And I but all the time trying to go, I know him from something, and I can't think what it was. I think was he in Game On?
Possibly, yeah.
But yeah, But again, they're a one joke. They just speak Geordie. That's their entire role in it.
Yeah, and you got the other names in it, which is like the who's who of B-list Brit comedians and celebrities at the time. You got James Dreyfus, Angus Dean, Hugh Dennis, Steve Punt, Simon FarnabyRalf, Holmes, Helen Lederer, Naomi Campbell, John Thompson, Paul Putnam, David Schneider. Current countdown host Colin Murray.
Helen Lederer was in. I must have blinked and missed her.
Yeah, she's with the ambassador assistant, maybe.
Oh, Philip from Rising Damp.
A little slice of the girly show of Sarah Kaywood, Les Dennis, and Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph, honestly.
Dolph Lundgren, who apparently has no memory of this whatsoever.
Yeah, after I did the role, Dolph said, I'd asked the agent of mine, but he's sunk in the River Thames. But he did say later that he was in town, was asked by a friend to do it, if he'd like to do it. And he said, well, it's slapstick comedy and he's never done that before. He got 25,000 for half a day's work.
Can't grumble at that, can you? It's just like... It should have been... It's because it's not one thing or the other. It's not the Fat Slags from Viz Comics. And it's not funny. Like, if it was something else and they just used the name, but it was good, it'd be fine. But the fact that they've used that IP and done this with it, I'd be furious. Like, because it bears no resemblance to anything. It's a terrible story that's been done a million times before. And we've got Naomi Campbell in it as well.
Yeah.
It is all for free on YouTube. If you want to go and watch this, it's an hour and change. That's how good it is.
Yeah, it's the longest 75 minutes of my life.
It really was. Because I don't know. I don't even think like a child would find it funny because the slapstick in it isn't funny. There's fart jokes in it. There's fart jokes, and then they cut to a load of animals running away in stock photography. And what is that? What is this?
Yeah, I've got it written down. It looks like a really cheap ITV comedy sketch show. It sounds like a really cheap ITV comedy sketch show, and it feels essentially like all the scraps from the cutting room floor of a failed ITV comedy sketch show.
Yeah. But directed by Ed Bye. Like, legendary director Ed Bye. Again, must have owed someone money. Because why would you would have took your name off, wouldn't you?
Apparently he's not had a good run for films. I think TV's fine.
Yeah.
That's why it probably looks like a TV show.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But it's just baffling choices of shots. When they're in the, they go to the hotel and speak to Angus Dayton. Why are both the cameras facing up? Like, it's either should be from their view or his view. And it's just shot from a really low angle. And it annoyed me.
The Dutch angles.
Shut up, is it? Like, you know, like he was doing that. They're just like, the regular cameraman's not in, but this wee lad's here. Just plop it on him, it'll be fine. Let's get this done. We've only got a week.
I think there's. I did say earlier that I think there's elements to this, but actually there isn't. Is there? I'm talking bollocks. Now, what I did watch, and this might be something that we need to look at, or something for you, Joe, on your show. But on their Amazon at the moment, you can watch Highlander 2. which is absolutely savaged. It's hated by Highlander fans. I can see why as well, but there's some really good bits in that. So if you watch it, there's some rather impressive film they're making going on.
It's been a long time since I've watched Highlander 2.
Well, I watched it just the other night, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually quite good." Until you realise that
it's not
actually the plot's rubbish, and yeah, but and this can't even do that.
Again, it feels like a series of sketches that are linked together with the flimsiest of plots. Some of them, like Fiona Allen's voice changes from scene to scene. She starts off in a very high-pitched thing, and then she forgets she's doing that and just uses her normal voice. And it's fine. Just keep going. Just keep rolling.
I think why she kept smiling as well. In the fight scene, she just keeps smiling. Is that a character thing she was doing?
Also, they weren't fat enough. Like, putting pop culture things in of the time dates stuff awfully, but like J-Lo, well, not J-Lo being in there, non-union David Beckham, like the whole thing just like I like James Dreyfus in most stuff, like Gimme, 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 I think is genuinely one of the best things ever because it's so terrible. Like, it's crass and it's gross and it hasn't aged particularly well. But of the time, it's Kathy Burke and James Dreyfus just being horrible to each other. But he can't save this because he's gone, gay French fashion designer, just do a big caricature of that. All right, sweet. Just the check cleared, right? Let's go. Did this get a cinema release, or was this like straight to video?
I think it got a cinema release.
Where?
Very, very
good. I'm glad for the death of cinema. If this is what they were showing.
I covered a film, and it was a while back, but I covered one of. It was actually Michael Winner's. I think it was his last ever film. I covered their Bullseye.
Yes. Yeah. I listened to that one.
Yeah, and that's another one that's like that, where it throws everything at it and nothing sticks. And their parting shots as well, another one of their his, which has like a phenomenal cast, but the story's just awful, and there's no, and it's very much in the mold of those, only probably 10 times worse, which really says something because.
I mean, I couldn't find anything redeeming. Normally, I can see some good in it, like what they were trying to do, but there's nothing at all in it. It can't be a cash grab because at this point, what 2006, 2004, 2006.
This is when Viz got sold. This is why it got made. They sold the magazine. The film rights stayed with the original publisher. So it was just a case of, I've got these rights. Do you want them? Do you want to make a film? They did it. And it was, I think, pretty much the only money they could make off it.
Right. Okay.
Well, that makes more sense.
The magazine creates a notice the making of the film, and the story has little or no relation to the strip outside of the characters' names. They sold the magazine rights to the film. Rights were retained by the former owner, and it was pretty much a cash grab. They actually announced it would be getting rid of the strip and killing off the characters afterwards because of the negative press from it. But they went back on that, saying they were misquoted. I think
that's harsh.
I think though, if you're gonna do if you're gonna have a film version of a Viz strip, or you're gonna try and do something with it, sort of, film wise, the Fat Slags is probably. That would be fairly low down on the list of Viz sort of characters that you might want to use, isn't it? I mean, there's surely you could spin off, Johnny Fat Pants or Finbar Saunders, maybe a bit, there's maybe a bit more to it.
Well, the classic one would be Roger Melly, and you do it as like an Alan Partridge type thing because it's essentially, isn't it? But they went with this. I mean, because the thing is, it's Viz. It's based on a comic strip that are, most a page, and to stretch that out, it's Are You Being Served to the movie, where they go on holiday to Spain. It's that sort of thing. They just stretch it out, and there's not enough in there to be stretched out, so to speak.
This makes Are You Being Served? The movie look like bloody the Casablanca.
Oh yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. There's nothing redeemable about it at all. Do they acknowledge that this existed? Fiona Allen and stuff. You asked her about it, would she just turn around and walk away? I don't remember any of that.
Well, I will say, Sophie Thompson, if you are listening to this, do let us know, please. What are your memories of actually making this film? Because I think we would be fascinated there to find out.
I'm assuming they paid her. It's just. But the only thing that I did genuinely like as well was that Beppy DeMarco showed up as a kebab shop owner off EastEnders. That was fun. But it's too late. 2006 for that. God, that's nearly 20 years ago. That's worrying.
I think I would have liked to have seen a Viz film. Billy the Fish, directed by David Lynch. Pure out our house, black and white.
Stop motion fish. Sharks. Like, I mean, there's so many other characters in there that would have been better. Or do it no, don't do that. But you know, like the horrible League of Gentlemen film where they come into the real world, that would have been better. Like anything would have. Who wrote this? Who wrote The Scorpion King? There you go.
Yeah, despite being given a pirate copy of this for free, Viz cartoonist Graham Jury refuses to watch it. Mr. Jury said, as far as we're concerned, The Fat Slags has already been made by Alan Clark. His 1986 film Rita, Sue and Bob 2 is the best film we could hope to make of The Fat Slags. This version was crap from start to end.
Yeah.
Former Viz editor Simon Donald said it was embarrassing. Even the most idiotic, misguiding teenage moron will not get a laugh at this truly irredeemable crock of full shit.
I didn't.
So this was William Osborne's last writing credit. Before that, he'd done Thunderbirds. He'd done. Now let's have a look because there's some good things in.
He wrote Twins.
The Twins. God's sakes, and Stop All My Mum Will Shoot, which is not a great film, but it's not awful either.
It's Estelle Getty and Sylvester Stallone. Like,
yeah,
what's not to love about that?
But oh my god, good lord!
I mean, it's the fact that The Scorpion King has got a higher IMDb rating than Stop All My Mum Will Shoot shows that this world has gone on for too long. It's terrible. It genuinely is one of the worst things. And like, from someone who loves Viz, genuinely, it's the highlight of. I only look forward to going to London so I can get a copy of Viz. I don't understand how or why this was. Oh, I know why it was made because it's for cash, but why you wouldn't have done a better job? Were you not ashamed of yourselves? Did you forget to put the jokes in?
I am ashamed of myself there for watching this.
I watched it 2.5 times.
I think the real kicker on this though is like you get to the end of it and it doesn't even wrap up properly.
No, she just throws that laptop out of the window and then they're doing a dance for Les Dennis in a nightclub.
The bloody gangster film that we watched there the other month was better than this shit, and that was awful.
Yeah, I think I may have hit rock bottom in this. I'm not going to go for the worst film ever made because I don't want to watch anything worse than this.
I don't think there can be anything worse than this. Like even Neil Breen, looks like Shaft compared to this. Like
there's a challenge for you. Can we find a film that is worse than this?
Even Lady Circus was better than this. Or Nightmare Barn, whatever it's called. And nothing happened in that at all. But this is offensively bad. Not in, I'm upset about it. It's just it could have been better. It could have become like a cult classic sort of thing. If they'd have put jokes in there and not just gone, who's hanging around the Good Morning GMTV studios? We can rope in to be on it. I don't know. I don't know why I'm getting so angry about a 20-year-old film, but here we are.
It's because you love film so much.
Yeah.
This is from somebody who watches Hallmark films.
Yes, some of them are all right. But yeah, I mean, if you want to punish yourself, if you've got a spare 75 minutes, or if you can't go to bed, if you can't go to sleep, stick this on, and you'll be asleep within about 10 minutes, because that's what did me the first time. Because there's just nothing. For the opening bit, I thought, all right, it could be all right, this. And then the music kicks in, and it's subpar Wallace and Gromit. Yeah, And I'm like, this isn't right.
It's
And then
farty
Ralph
music, isn't it?
Yeah. And that plays all the way through it as well. Like when antics are happening, that plays, apart from the Jerry Halliwell song and something that was clearly out of copyright. That Calypso song, whatever that was about. It just feels like low budget, but they wanted to do more with it. And I'm trying to look now. Is there a like how much this costs thing? I'm going to guess probably not.
So
no.
I think we have some reviews offline. You got Adrian Hennigan at the BBC. Called it the longest film you've ever seen. The only reason to watch it is to see which actors have fallen on hard times or preyed to blackmail demands and taken supporting roles. One-time TV star Angus Deayton, check. One-time pop star Jerry Halliwell, present. One-time supermodel Naomi Campbell, yep. Watch them here and be reminded of another of his character, Buster, go and add, this really is the biggest load of bollocks you'll ever see.
Yep. Good.
Off The Guardian, Dr. Reese Walker commented, Ed Byers achieved the impossible. He has made a worse film than the sex lives of the Potato Men. Fat Slags unremittingly awful, a total failure. This film wasn't released, it escaped.
I quite like Sex Lives of the Potato Men.
Apparently it was the worst British film ever made until this.
No, it's got Johnny Vegas in it. It can't be that bad. But yeah, I'd be intrigued to see if it does. I'm up for the challenge to see if I can find anything worse than this. And there must be. There must be something, because it's always lower. You can always scrape that barrel, can't you? But I don't know.
Yeah,
I honestly don't know.
Okay, the last review I've got is off IMDb. It's by Pandal Raka. This film was so good that after watching only the first 20 seconds, my eyes were glued to the screen. Literally, God came down from the heavens and instructed me to prove my faith by applying industrial strength adhesive to my eyes and sticking them to my television. This is God's film. Would you argue with God? That would make you a heathen. Therefore, if you do not like this film, you are a Satanist and a heretic. Please send your name and address to IMDb's head office so that I may turn up at your house, erect my wooden cross, to which you will be nailed to and emulated. I apologise for not being particularly insightful to the content of the film, but in doing so I will be denying you the pleasure of watching it yourself. I have never been in love until I watched this film. I hereby declare that Bob Clark be crucified and his name be stripped from the Bible. Ed By is our new Lord and Saviour.
Pandal Raka.
Thanks, Pandal. It's nice to see you're still out there.
The legend.
Yeah. Also, I don't need to see any more big fake knockers. Like,
do you not?
No. Like, it just, it just annoyed. I can't even get my words out. I'm so angry at this film.
If this was like a new film, you'd get the cover quote, yeah, just noises.
It's just
Joe, Hallmark
indecipherable gibberish. Yeah. But the thing was, like, I looked at the box and it's got like, oh, you'll love it from, and then I was like, what's that from? And it read really small. The Sunday Sport. Ah, right, there you go.
The Sunday.
Dear Lord. So, is this the worst film we've ever seen? That's my last question. Yes, okay.
Undoubtedly.
I would say yes, definitely. Ian?
Yes, definitely is. Yeah. Great, so.
Would you recommend it? I think Joe had your answer to that one.
Well, so if like me, if you've got one of those sort of brains, I know that probably, Joe is also a bit like this, but if say you get it into your head of I like Viz, I've read a load of Viz's, I've read about Viz as well. I want to see what spin-offs there are, and I'm not going to be satisfied until I've watched every single one. Then yes, I would recommend it because because it will satisfy that sort of part of your the brain that actually that the Fat Slags, didn't just get one, visual media spin-off. They got two.
Mm.
One was actually quite sort of good, and then you've got, this pile of shit.
I think even for completionists, this is too far. Like,
Yeah.
it's not even like you can watch it with your mates and like take the piss out of it.
You wouldn't have any mates if you stuck it.
Come round with putting Fat Slags on. Nah, I'm washing my moustache. Sorry, I can't come. Like, yeah, you can't even like riff on it because it's aggressively bad.
I would recommend it if you are a patron of the 100 Things We Learned from Film podcast and you get chosen.
Do you reckon?
Listen to this and you're a patron and you get chosen on the wheel of the, you get chosen to pick a film for them. Pick this. Give it to them. Give it to them hard.
You're never getting picked.
Yeah, my name's getting took off that wheel. Like, no. Oh, that's next level evil as well, though. Like, I like Planty and John. Like, I couldn't do that to him.
Okay.
I was funnily enough, because I was watching that. I was watching that wee wheel thing that they do have just the other day because it came round again, and I was like, "Oh God, what kind of film would I pick?" Because I'd really want to pick something that would get them both feeling unsort of comfortable. Or
I'm just going to pick The Crow again, make them watch it a third time.
But yeah, it was like some sort of French expressionism film.
John will love that.
Well, that's what I was wondering, and then I was like, well.
He struggled with Videodrome, mate.
Okay, let's get the links out of the way. Joe, you want to go first?
Yeah, you can find us at Hallmark of Greatness on where you get your podcast from. We're currently doing TV reality shows for some reason. We seem to have stumbled into this morass of television, and it's much more fun than doing Hallmark films, really. We will go back to them one day at some point. We did them over Christmas. But there's so many good, weird, like early 2000s reality shows out there that are absolutely terrible, terrible things. So, yeah, there's that. Or if you like wrestling, you can listen to me on Damn It Vacant, which is about 70% nonsense and 30% wrestling now. I'm trying to squeeze all the wrestling out eventually, so it's just nonsense.
That's fun. Ian, where can we find you?
Well, if I can be asked, you can find me at Cult Connections. They're covering a range of their TV and film. We have just released our first episode of their 2025. They're the festive, their Doctor Who's that we had. So, Joy to the World and the War Games, which was very lovely. However, I missed out actually the best bit or the best piece of their trivia about their Christmas Day Doctor Who from my episode. I've just sat here and I've just remembered it, and I've just thought, oh, for fuck's sake, I've missed it out of my own show. But in the Christmas Day Doctor Who, it's set in their two hotels, one of which is in their London, but it's a real hotel in their Cardiff, which I have actually stayed at. I stayed at it in 2014, and when I was watching it, I was like, I've actually stayed in that hotel, and the reason I was in their Cardiff was with my their Doctor Who mates for one of their stag weekend, which was spent going to the Doctor Who experience, and then some. Their location, their sort of stuff afterwards. That's why we picked their Cardiff, and lo and behold, there it is up on screen in their Doctor Who. That's how much of a nerd I am.
Some strange serendipity there with that, isn't there?
I know. It's like, wait a minute. That's the grotty hotel that we stayed in, and it was disgusting.
Yeah, it looked like a B&B.
Oh,
yeah.
It was horrid. It really was. Yeah.
Did you have eggs?
I didn't have it. They did. The breakfast was included, and I did not eat any.
What was the toaster like?
Yeah, I got very excited watching Inside the Factory the other day because they went to the DeWalt factory where they make the toasters, and I was genuinely so excited. All made by hand. Didn't know that. All DeWalt toasters made by hand.
And as always, find me on TotalCultZone.com. That's TotalCultZone.com. find my stuff there. I apologise for being very cotton-mouthed and slurry this episode. I've had too much Red Bull. I'm excitable. Excited to get into the Fat Slags.
I can't believe we've got nearly 50 minutes of this shit.